Southampton 1, Manchester United 1. Disappointing, man. I look at today and there was a few changes made to the squad. Sancho and Varane didn't start, we'll get into that. But there was a lot of performances today for Manchester United players that they just weren't there. And collectively as a team, the balance wasn't there, the tempo wasn't there. Southampton, they pressed us, they worked hard, they played two up front, they put us under pressure and they made it difficult for us to play out, and we kind of played into their hands a little bit. Early on, yes, we had a couple of chances. Martial, the chance cleared off the line, but from then you've kind of felt that Southampton were growing into the game and putting us under pressure, and they did. And they did what they kind of do to teams, which is work really hard and be really honest. But us, there were too many individual performances today that weren't there. The fact that Matic was starting, that's not the reason why it was off, but what I would say is I was kind of looking at it, well, okay, at least Solskjaer's not afraid to mix it up. But actually, now in hindsight, maybe that was probably the wrong time to do it. It didn't really work. I think he had a mixed game. He struggled to kind of impose himself on the game. If I look at the back, Harry Maguire, of all people, was quite shaky today, caught on the ball a couple of times, not his usual self. Left back, Luke Shaw. That's probably the worst game I've seen him have for a long while because he's been absolutely excellent. Wan-Bissaka, just constantly giving the ball away. Yes, he put one on Bruno's head, which could have led to a goal, but other than that, I thought he was quite poor. And in transition, we just weren't quick enough. We didn't have the intensity. And Scott from 90 Minutes said it best earlier on. It's kind of typical of United with all of the positivity that we had going into the season, all of the positivity after the Leeds game, and rightly so. It's kind of that reminder that these kind of performances are still there and are still lingering, and we've got a lot to do to kind of rid ourselves of that. The positives is that, well, actually, when we continue on, actually a bit of a negative, because again, going one goal down, how many times? Yes, I did have problems getting in. A lot of away fans couldn't get in for the first 15, 20 minutes, but I've kind of seen the highlights of the first 15 minutes, and a lot of players, a lot of people were kind of telling me what had gone on. Yes, the ball kind of luckily bouncing onto the crossbar and then Martial, but other than that, nothing in the whole first half. And what I did see of the first half wasn't good enough. You know, Southampton were hurrying us in possession, stopping us from playing. Did Southampton, you guys done well today, didn't you?
We did.
You did?
No,
well, you didn't win. We shared the points. You didn't win, but we did. You done well. You done well. And it was just one of them where I think we played into Southampton's hands, especially in the first half. A positive is the reaction that Ollie got out of the boys' second half, though. That is a constant thing that keeps happening. A constant of going down by a goal, which was ever present during last year, but also having that reaction. And I think we really put it onto Southampton and managed to get that goal back. And then there was a 15-minute spell after we scored where it looked like the second was coming. And then Southampton managed to settle themselves. We went off the ball, we started loosening the ball again and lost that tempo. And then it was kind of a free hit at the end of it. And then Harry Maguire, like I said, caught on the ball, Armstrong clean through, probably showed his cards too early to David De Gea, who made a great save, but we got away with one. Paul Pogba, may I add, though, fantastic again in patches. And I think that sums us up today. We played in patches. Manchester United came here and played in patches. There were certain times of the game where we got hold of the ball, got our tempo right. And other times we were just vacant. We just weren't there. And I think it's a mixture. You can't just say it's only down to Manchester United not playing well. The Leeds game was a whole different proposition and we were right to be excited. But like I said last week, Leeds play in a way that as soon as they concede a goal, the floodgates open. Southampton aren't that team. They're not the same as that. And I think they closed the spaces really well. They made it really difficult for us today. And that coupled with us not being on it, with Maguire being sloppy in possession, with Bruno maybe not being at it or being able to get on the ball as much, with Wan-Bissaka constantly giving the ball away, with Luke Shaw not quite being there, with Matic not partnering Fred too well. I literally just talked about Fred, exactly. It just wasn't good enough. It was not good enough today. Ollie spoke about it afterwards. I've seen some of the comments he's saying that maybe there's a little bit of a lack of fitness, maybe it's something else. I don't think it's just lack of fitness. This has been a situation that we've seen with Manchester United over all of last season. Going a goal down, not being able to control games for large periods or long enough periods to let the dominance show in terms of goal returns. So I don't think you can blame fitness. It has to be considered because it's early in the season, so there's a hell of a long way to go. I thought when Sancho come on, I think he did the best he could do with what was going on. He wasn't really linking up with Wan-Bissaka very well. I don't think he enjoyed that. Went out to the left. What I liked about Sancho is that although he got into some great positions where he could have rushed and thought it's all about me, I'm playing in my second game, we need a goal. try step overs, try and beat a player. He didn't do that. He kept it simple. And made the right pass. There was a chance on the right hand side. He had the chance to guard the fullback, but Fred was there in acres. He laid it back to Fred. Fred crosses it in, and Mason Greenwood has a header that it was probably just a bit too far. Mason Greenwood, another goal though. You got to talk about the positives as well. Another goal for him. And I spoke about this, didn't I? Cavani's waiting in the wings to get fit, but if Mason can keep his goal form up and can keep contributing, he's going to give Solskjaer a tough decision to make. Anthony Martial now. Well, no, I just think he's just rotating. I just think he got it wrong. Yeah.
This isn't January.
Yeah.
This is the start of the season. Why is he rotating?
Yeah. Southampton fan?
No.
Oh, United fan?
Nothing.
Neutral.
I'm a Chelsea fan, but I think you're a genuine competitor.
Yeah.
And I think you shouldn't rotate him.
Yeah. Yeah. Fair play. Chelsea fan. You're not doing all right, 2-0 up. Yeah, we'll have him back, please. Chelsea fan just randomly here. I don't know why he's here. Why? I should ask. Why is he here? But he said, why did Solskjaer change it? Why did he play a weakened team? I wouldn't say that Solskjaer played a weakened team and underestimated Southampton. I think he played the best team. He thought he played the best team for the job. It was a bit weird why Sancho didn't start, but I don't know. I wouldn't say he played a weakened team. I'd just say that any of the changes that he made didn't really work. It didn't. Do you know what I mean? And I think even he's going to be, kind of bewildered by that as to why it didn't work. But it just shows that we still have this in us. One of the guys in the fan cam said, the fan view today said, when are we going to start playing Pogba and Bruno as two advanced eights? When are we going to get away from two sitting? Is that a potential? Yes, it is. We always talk about that. Why don't we need to have more? Some people who think we need to be more reserved will say the team shape wasn't right consistently enough. It just was an up and down day. Second game of the season, we wanted more. It was kind of one of them, like I said, performances that were just there from last year, and that's the frustrating thing about it. And we just struggled to put together patterns of play on a consistent basis through the match. It was a very choppy performance early doors. But Paul Pogba in the lead up to that goal was absolutely brilliant. Great footwork from him. Little dink into Bruno, gets it back, toes it to Mason Greenwood. So Paul Pogba continues his decent performance. But then there was a couple of stray passes he hit. On Bruno's thing, I know Ollie said it was a definite foul. I think in the vein of how this season they're letting a lot go. There were a lot of tackles that were getting let go. I think it was Craig Pawson, the referee today. I'm not going to lie, that was in front of me. I didn't think it was a foul. I thought Bruno was a little bit soft. I do. Now I've seen it back. Yeah, there's room for that to be given. If it got given, you wouldn't go mad. But at the same time, I'll be honest with it. I'll be impartial. I think he's got to be stronger there. I do. And then after that, Harry Maguire doesn't close down Che Adams well enough. And then it deflects off Fred's foot into the goal. So not good there. David De Gea, good couple of saves there as well from Ward-Prowse and Armstrong. So he did well to keep us in the game. Mason Greenwood keeps up his vein of scoring. And it was good to see that positive reaction in the second half. But again, it's kind of the same old story. United, same old story. We need to shake off these cobwebs. We need to shake off these bad performances in terms of going down by a goal, in terms of not controlling games through the midfield. And this is why we do need a defensive midfielder, because you feel like things like this can happen. And I have gone on record, as you guys know, and said, even with that squad, the balance should still be good enough to mount a title challenge. And of course, that doesn't mean we're not going to title challenge because of the second game. Of course not. There's plenty more games to go. But you can see that it can be an issue if Ollie doesn't pick the right or get the right balance as a midfield too. A lot of people are asking for Pogba to return back to the centre of midfield, because from deep against a team like Southampton he can occupy them. But if you think about it, Pogba still had a say on the game from the left. I think it depends what type of game it is. But we need to find a way to get Pogba back in the centre eventually. But it's not going to happen until we sign that defensive midfielder. So disappointing. We go again next week at Wolves. I know that's a bit of a cliche. Varane surely got to be in there. Sancho surely got to be in there. Potentially even Cavani if he's ready. But again, Martial did okay, but I don't think he made enough intense runs. He made a couple of runs in behind. He did okay, but after that, he was pretty anonymous. I mean, he is working himself back to fitness, so we have to wait and see. So there was a lot of Martial slander today, but I still feel like he's fighting his way back to fitness, which is why I'm surprised to see him start. I thought he would have sort of came in and came on in the game. And Mason played so well up front last week. I don't know why he didn't start there, and Sancho start on the right. But we go again. We'll have to see what happens. But disappointing. My man in the match. It's got to be between Pogba and. It's got to be between Pogba and Mason. I'm going to give it to Mason Greenwood because at the end of the day, he scored another goal that we really needed. But then Pogba made it, I suppose. It could be Pogba. I'll give it Mason Greenwood, 2 and 2. Closely followed by Paul Pogba. Disappointing. Too many players not at it. Too many players losing possession of the ball. And the quality just was not there today. We go again at Wolves. Make sure you guys smash a like on the video and subscribe. Peace.